Ladies, about abortion, do you believe every soul deserves an opportunity in this world? Or could a variable such as wrong timing be enough to intercede in God's miracle of life? Hope my inquiry isn't deemed as condescending. #Christ is Lord, it's Evelyn.
What do you guys think? Does every soul deserve the opportunity to come into this world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just on the abortion topic, I think that there is a point before there is a heartbeat, before there is brainwaves, that I don't know how many weeks exactly that is. I think it could, in some circumstances, be acceptable then, but for any circumstance after that point, when it is considered a baby with brainwaves and a heartbeat, I think it's so wrong. So.
I think there's very, very few scenarios where it is okay, but I think that there should be opportunity for life. I think there's very small and few scenarios where it should not, but I think for the majority, it should be.
4 out of 5 women have miscarriages. So my auntie and her...
Is that stat true?
I think that's what my auntie told me, because herself...
Jamie, can we get a fact check on that?
Or maybe it's 3 out of 5. My auntie and her friend got pregnant around the same time, and they both had miscarriages.
I think the first pregnancy...
And she was talking to my grandpa about it before he passed away, obviously, but she was crying about it, and she was very sad about it. So I think when people who want to try to have babies, it's hard for them. Especially us women, we are hormonal. I mean, so does men. But I think it's harder for us to have babies because of our hormonal.
Harder for women to have babies than men to have babies?
I mean, you get the point.
I know, I'm giving you a hard time. Yeah, I want a fact check on that.
That would be actually the first pregnancy, the chances of them miscarrying are a lot higher. And it's usually with the first pregnancies. The second and third are usually more effective. So
but stick to the abortion part of it, like the actual question of it.
Yeah. Did you answer that part of it? Do you believe that every life deserves the opportunity to come into this world?
I think so, because since I've experienced from my family point of view, I would say yes.
Okay. Shania, what do you think?
I definitely agree with Sammy. I mean, there's definitely some circumstances where it's tough, and it's a tough way to go about it. But yeah, I say for the most part.
Can you guys name an example of those circumstances?
I don't think I can.
I'm pretty sure it was on the list of things to not
stuff
say.
We can't say.
Oh yeah.
Grape.
Yeah, which is a very minor portion of abortions.
That's less than 1%.
Yeah, and in that case, I think it's
that's why I
appropriate.
said very, very few small scenarios where it should not.
Okay.
Word.
Yeah.
Well,
you want to move on beyond it?
Wait, no, I literally came here for this question.
Let's get to them.
Yeah, children are the biggest blessing in the world. That's what I believe. I know everyone, like, there's certain situations, so I think that it should be a choice. But I agree with what Holly was saying, like, past a certain point, I can't support that.
I agree with the panel.
Bridget.
Yeah. Okay. I think you guys are all great. So first and foremost, like, we know now, I mean, we have 3-dimensional ultrasounds. We know now that, like, at the very earliest stages, at the moment of fertilization, it is a genetically unique individual growing human being. So if we don't believe in the right to life and the right to protecting especially vulnerable life, then no other rights matter. Because if we aren't fighting for the right for innocent people not to be murdered, then all the other rights are just kind of moot. But I would also argue that in those situations, like grape and the other really tiny little percentages that the abortion industry will hone in on to try to push this product that they're making millions of dollars selling to women and girls, like, abortion is so harmful for women too. And I think that's something that we forget because the abortion industry doesn't want you to believe that. But women have died from the abortion pill alone. 28 women since the FDA approved it in 2000 have died from the abortion pill, not to mention over 5 million children. So the abortion industry is pushing this down women's throats, and they want us to believe it's about empowerment and it's good for us. But at the end of the day, kills an innocent life, and it hurts women. It really does. It sets you up, like I said earlier, it sets you up for increased risk of infertility, miscarriage, depression, thoughts of suicide. So it's just not good all around. And why are we saying that's a solution for a woman who's just been raped? Like, she's just been so wrongly violated and intruded upon, and we're going to suggest that, like, all right, just slap a Band-Aid on it and go have this forced birth of a dead baby and call it a day. And it's like,
Well,
it's
as well,
a slap in the face.
most Planned Parenthoods are placed strategically in low-income, majority Black neighborhoods as well.
Do you know? Are you familiar with the founding of Planned Parenthood and what the agenda was behind it?
Yeah.
To exterminate the Negro population. That is a direct quote from their founder.
Yes.
I was saying, like, no matter what, if you have an abortion or not, if you are pregnant, you are going to deliver that baby. So this whole like forced birth thing about the pro-life movement making women have babies, like if you have an abortion, you're having a baby. It's just dead and torn apart or poisoned. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, that was a solid
She's like, all right,
answer.
I can leave.
That was a solid answer. Yeah, I mean, I think abortion is wrong. And I think to what you were saying, this country was created specifically to secure people's rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's like all of these lives matter in America except for the lives of the unborn. And that's very strange to me that we've gotten to this point where we're psyoped into thinking that their lives don't matter.
And
when
it's
they do.
another element of empowerment.
So
it's because on the flip side,
empowering
if it
to
is
kill
a
your
child
children.
that you want to keep, you celebrate it from
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment. you
It's a
find
baby
out
if you want it.
incepted.
Yeah, no, it's messed up.
Okay. All right. You guys want my opinion? Well, here's what I'm thinking, Chase, and Chase hates this one. Let's develop the artificial womb.
No.
Cancer to my soul.
Do you know how many babies would die?
I hate it. Not only how many babies would die,
Why would babies
it's like
die?
the freaking Matrix, dude.
Yeah. We need more humanity, not less.
Yeah.
What are you? That is humane.
No, it's not. It's
No, dude, you're like signing us up with this artificial womb thing. You're like signing us up for some like World Economic Forum future where they're just like growing babies in factories and then like putting them to work as slaves.
And then they literally get dropped off by the stork at your front door.
But what if it's like there were strict laws, like you couldn't
During your
grow
virtual sex.
human? Like the only scenario in, obviously, there could be people who try to play around the rules or whatever, but and perhaps certain countries wouldn't adhere.
How about
to
we
these
let
rules.
the babies that are being fertilized naturally be born and not murdered and thousands a day?
That'd be pretty
artificial
nice.
womb. You would not be murdering the baby.
I'm
Bro,
saying let's priorities. Let's ban abortion.
Subversive Brian, anti-marriage
What?
Brian, pro-artificial womb Brian. Is Brian low-key a WEF plant?
What the
dude?
fuck? Well, dude, here's what I'm saying, right? Don't you like, and as someone who considers himself a bit moderate, in the middle on a lot of things, don't you think that is could there be other issues with it? But on a logical point of view, that seems to be a really good compromise.
You're saying if a woman doesn't want her child, instead of aborting the child, it's removed and put
It's
in a
removed
fake womb.
and the child can live.
No, let's make it easier for women to have babies. Let's empower them to say like, hey, you're freaking badass. You can work and chase your dreams and have a child. You don't have to. Or
Okay,
you can put your
I'm
child
a
up for
pragmatist.
adoption.
I'm a pragmatist. Like, that's very idealistic. You're not.
It's not idealistic. There
you're
are
not-
pregnancy centers in every single town, every
Bro,
single
you're
state.
not going to
in the country.
convince liberal feminist women that.
You're not going to convince them of anything. They are
That's
so
why it
far
should be
gone.
outlawed.
There's no
But-
point in having a conversation with them.
But what I'm trying to say is, you have two very strong opposing sides here. You have pro-choice, pro-life. To me, that the middle ground would be where both people's desires for the life is satisfied. Now, are there other existential concerns when it comes to like technological singularity and like having the capability of having an artificial womb and what that impact is? Ultimately, though, the main thing of abortion is what the issue is that's a life.
Yes.
So with an artificial womb, you can
Still give the baby
Where's
a
the
shot at
funding
having-
for
No.
these artificial
No,
womb
let's assume-
centers
I see what
coming
you're
from?
saying.
Let's
And where
assume.
would the
Hold on.
baby go
Let's assume
after?
the artificial womb is just as capable of bringing a child to term healthily. The child gets to live. The mother, if she wants to, can opt out of the pregnancy, but the child gets to live
Where's the child go?
in the
Into the
artificial
system?
womb.
No, after.
Into the
Also,
system.
you're
becomes-
overlooking that the
hold on.
abortion industry
Hold on.
wants to make the money they're making.
Hold on. It becomes a ward of the state. Just like
Absolutely not.
Scary. That's scary.
That's horrifying.
Communism. That's scary.
that's what people who are.
I think
what's the term?
I think what would be better.
Who has the
I
baby?
think,
Kamala
I think
Harris?
Here's what I
No,
think would
thank
be
you.
better. I think.
What about people who lose their parents?
Guys,
they
hold on.
become wards of the state.
Hold on. I think what would be better, from what I understand.
If you're an orphan,
Hold the
you
phone.
become a ward of the
seriously-
Hold the
state.
phone.
Yep, I see.
Hold the phone. from what I understand, it's extremely expensive to adopt a child in America. It's a time-consuming process. It's an expensive process. And I look at our country and I see us spending unbelievable amounts of money on other countries, like, for example, Ukraine, which we spent $100 billion on to maintain this corrupt money laundering operation for our own politicians. Okay? What if we financially incentivized good families in America to adopt these children?
There are like 25 parents lined up, families lined up for every child in the foster care system. I think it's 22 to 20, it's either 22 or 23 families waiting to adopt for every child in foster care.
So many kids in foster.
What causes
are
that?
abused,
What
though.
causes that bottleneck? Why
It is a completely
why is it so hard
corrupt
for so
government
many
system.
to? Why is it so hard for so
Because
many
it
to
makes so
adopt?
much money.
What are you talking about?
Why is it so hard for people to adopt?
Well, because there's a ton of corruption and bureaucracy in the foster care and adoption system in our country.
Yeah. See,
Look.
hold on. Before we make the artificial womb jump, which is a big leap.
Is that a real thing?
We should
going to
like
be.
fix that problem
It's
first,
good.
pragmatically speaking.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like they're
You know what I'm
making
saying?
AI
100%.
robots,
Would you
like
say
they're
that that's fair?
trying to-
What's fair?
Rather than just jumping straight to artificial wombs, fixing this like adoption process in our country so that people can actually like adopt those babies that would be aborted otherwise.
Sure, but what I'm saying is with the artificial womb, to me, it seems like that is a reasonable compromise where both sides get what they want. Now,
The abortion industry is not getting what they want with the artificial womb. They want
They
dead
do.
babies. No, they don't. They make billions of dollars. They make over $1 billion. Planned Parenthood alone every single year killing children, selling the abortion pill and charging $500 to like $2,000 for a D&E abortion where they go in, they suck the child, they rip them apart limb by
Okay.
limb. How are they making money if babies
you're-
are not being aborted?
I think you're straw manning the pro-choice side a little bit.
No, I am talking about the
People
abortion
don't-
industry. I'm talking about the abortion industry, which makes
They don't have a desire to kill babies. They have a
Oh
desire.
my
Brian,
God.
she's
That's
saying,
a
she's
straw
saying
man.
that
That's
she's
a
I'm
straw
talking
man.
about the abortion
she's
industry.
saying, yeah, she's saying there's an industry that would be opposed to
They're
what it is that you're
businesses.
proposing because they are massively financially profiting
They
off
make
of abortion.
millions
But
of dollars
that same
selling
industry
abortion.
also is against people who are pro-life.
My point is, you're saying pro-womb, like these fake wombs and stopping abortion is going to benefit both the pro-choice, pro-life side. I'm saying the abortion industry, which is a $1 billion+ industry, does not want that. And they're the main proponents of the pro-choice side.
That may be the case, but if we're looking at the actual arguments that of pro-choice, the pro-choice side is basically allowing women to terminate a pregnancy. So
Kill their baby.
Sure, that's fine. If we introduce or develop an artificial womb, to me that seems like you give both sides exactly. Are there going to be what's it called when you're I'm blanking on the term. You give both sides what they want. A woman can terminate her pregnancy and the life can continue.
But
That
that's
to me
just-
seems like it addresses both sides of this.
My point is the main body pushing the pro-choice side, doing the advertising, doing the marketing, trying to convince women that abortion is good for them. The pro-choice argument pushers is the abortion industry.
I disagree. I think there's a grassroots movement of women who want to eschew. I don't know if I use that
Sure,
word
but
right.
because they've bought into the lies of an industry that's been on the market for 40+ years, making billions of dollars, killing children and exploiting women.
Propagandizing everybody.
Yes. Telling women that abortion is good for them and it's about empowerment. You're telling women that they can't be a mom and successful. And you're telling black and minority women where you're planting your facilities that they need this abortion in order to get out from under. It's bullshit.
I think that maybe they already feel that way. Like,
Okay, so I don't disagree with you that there would be advocacy groups that would stand to lose by the introduction of an artificial womb. What I'm saying on a purely argumentative or purely argumentative level is pro-choice, pro-life. With the introduction of an artificial womb, we can talk about the perhaps ramifications of such a technological introduction. You are giving both sides precisely what they want.
I think it would help an artificial womb, and let's just say they get it off the ground and it's working and it's not corrupt and there aren't babies dying because the system isn't working, whatever, and they're becoming wards of the state and lost in the system. Let's just say we get it down. You would maybe get converts from the pro-choice or pro-abortion maybe the distinction that we need to make is the difference between pro-choice and pro-abortion, which it's very much one and the same in a lot of ways, practically speaking. But maybe you could get those grassroots people you're talking about that don't have any money to gain in abortion being legal. Maybe they'd say, okay, I won't be pro-abortion anymore because there is an alternative where the child lives. I'll give you that. I will also argue that the people most loudly pushing for abortion, telling women it's good for them, have millions of dollars to lose if abortion is not legal and if the abortion pill is off the market.
I don't think anyone's telling women that abortion is good for them, and I don't think any woman thinks
Planned Parenthood.
But I don't think that women think that abortion is good for them. I think that they think that that is their only choice in a situation they're put in. I don't think they think, oh, this is good for my body, this is healthy. I think they're thinking, I'm in a situation and this is the option.
But would you not agree that the abortion industry, like the Planned Parenthoods of the world, are not? Would you agree that they are telling women that abortion is a woman's right and it's empowering and it's not bad for them or it's not dangerous?
I see that.
Yes, that's what I am really primarily talking about, the abortion industry. I'm not talking about necessarily. I agree. I think most women who get an abortion do so because their back's against the wall, which is the opposite of empowerment. Like, people aren't waking up and saying, oh, I want to feel empowered, I'm going to go to Planned Parenthood, kill my kid. Yeah.
But the resolution to that is like something way deeper than. That's
well, I've derailed the conversation when it comes to the. Oh my God.